Seamaster!
Hi everyone, Sneemaster here with a review of the MISC Starfarer series of ships. The Starfarer is a refueling and fuel refining ship. There are two versions of the Starfarer, the basic ship created by MISC, and then the military Gemini variant that is co-produced by Aegis Dynamics. The Starfarer series will be getting updated, so some of this information may change in the future. These ships are very large at 101 meters long, 46.5 meters wide, and 23.5 meters high. The Starfarer series have one size 3 shield generator, although the Gemini has a more powerful version by default. The base Starfarer has 3 size 3 fuel intakes versus only 2 intakes on the Gemini, with the base version having a big intake on the nose. Both have 1 size 3 internal hydrogen fuel tanks, 1 large quantum drive, and internal quantum fuel tank. But the Gemini has a military version of the quantum drive. They both can carry 6 external fuel tanks for either hydrogen or quantum fuel, with the Gemini holding less external fuel. Combat speed on the Starfarer is 85 meters per second and 88 meters a second for the Gemini. The Starfarer has a max speed of 888 meters per second, and the Gemini is 889 meters a second. Both ships have a minimum crew of 4 and a max crew of 8. Both ships have 1 large radar and 2 medium computers. The computers should allow quite a few AI blades in the future for turrets or other actions. Both variants have a large internal cargo space of 291 SCU, but the external cargo space differs. The fuel tanks in the future will be able to be removed to hold external cargo boxes, but I can't seem to get exact numbers on what they can carry externally. The Gemini variant will be able to carry less external cargo or fuel tanks than the base model. The Starfarer variants both have a rear-facing refueling probe used to refuel other ships. It sticks out quite a bit, and it's supposed to aim to a certain degree automatically. For weapons, the Starfarer series has 2 double size 4 gimbaled guns on the nose, controlled by the pilot. There is a manned turret on top with 2 size 4 guns, which has 360-degree access around the top of the ship. There are 2 manned rear turrets with dual size 3 guns that have great access to the rear and bottom of the ship. There is a slight lack of coverage to the bottom front of the ship though. The 2 types of guns vary between the base model and the Gemini. The Gemini variant also has an optional size 6 missile launcher controlled by the pilot or co-pilot with 9 size 3 missiles that fits on the nose to replace the front fuel intake. We don't have specs on the armor differences between the base and Gemini model yet, so stay tuned on that. The Starfarer series has an official bridge on the 2nd floor with a pilot and co-pilot seat plus a captain's chair. The cockpit widescreen view is quite limited in the Starfarer ships, so it's hard to look up and down. The captain's chair is sort of limited right now, but in the future it'll allow you to control various features and make it easier to contact others. Behind the front seats is an engineering console and a refueling refining console. The engineering console doesn't work right now, and the other console only does refueling right now. Once refining comes in the game, then we'll be able to get those controls too. The refueling console is pretty useful though. You can use it to direct fuel to and from various tanks and to the refueling probe itself. So it's pretty cool, and you can retract it, extend it, and do all sorts of stuff. Behind the bridge is a room with some components and 8 escape pods. The Starfarers have a sort of maze for an internal layout, so they are difficult to get around until you memorize your way. This was done on purpose, as CIG was planning on using the Starfarer as an FPS combat levels in space. This will hopefully change in the future to something more practical. To get around the ship, you can use the stairs on the sides of the cargo bay, or various elevators and ladders situated around the ship. Once out of the bridge escape pod room, you will find yourself over the cargo bay with a cargo console that doesn't really do anything right now. You get an excellent view of the cargo bay from here, which will make it easier to plan and move cargo boxes. On the same level, on the rear of the ship, you can reach an airlock with access to the external rear fuel tanks. There are some manual controls for each tank just in case you can't access them from the bridge, including an option to detach them. There is also an elevator to get to the upper floor from here. On this same floor are side access rooms for more engineering features. For example, you can get to the main internal ship components, as well as the anti-gravity and power plant rooms. There are Jeffries tubes leading to various parts of the ship, and also a few escape pods for the engineering team as well. To the rear of this floor, on the sides, is access to the 2 rear turrets. Those turrets are actually upside down for some reason. Probably better to see the bottom of the ship maybe. On the bottom level is the cargo bay. It has a large door that leads to a ramp facing the rear of the ship. There are 12 jump seats here for extra crew or passengers. On this same level to the front is another airlock with a small round hatch for connecting to other ships. There are some doors on the side that don't open, and I'm not sure what they are for yet. Maybe they're for exiting the ship from the side, but they don't seem to have doors on the outside. They almost seem to lead to the big guns on the side of the cockpit. On the top floor of the ship, you have access to the top turret in the middle. Towards the middle is also the mess hall with a full kitchen and tables. Next to that is the captain's quarters with a desk. The desk doesn't do anything at the moment, but it will in the future. To the side is a personal bathroom and bed. I love the bedding in the bedroom. I wonder if CIG will sell this actual bedding as merchandise in the future? I'll have to check. The toilet combines with a shower, and there is a sink on the opposite side. For some reason, there are no doors for privacy to the bedroom or bathroom, which seems strange for a captain's quarters. There is a small window facing outside in the bedroom. One nice touch is the cook can pass food directly to the captain's office, without intruding with a small hatch in the side. On the other side of that floor is the crew quarters with 6 beds. There are supposed to be storage closets, but they don't work yet. There are a few benches for sitting down too, but some of them don't work as well. There are 2 bathrooms by gender, but I'm assuming that will change in the future. Both have a sink and combination toilet and shower. It looks like there will be a small storage for clothing here in the future. The Starfarer runs for $300 in limited sales, or you can buy it in-game for 6.6 million UEC at Lorville. The Gemini runs for $340 in time-limited sales, and you can buy it in-game for a slightly cheaper 6.2 million UEC at Lorville, probably because it has less cargo. I'm not sure. I don't see any of the ships showing up for rent anywhere. The default Starfarer is a shiny gray skin, while the Gemini has an olive green skin. There are 3 paints you can buy on the website, or possibly in-game for the Starfarer series. The 2950 Invictus Gray, the 2950 Invictus Black, and the Storm Surge. You can buy them individually, or get the 3-pack for a slight sale price. The Starfarer series are interesting ships. They'll be very important for smaller ships traveling in larger solar systems like Pyro, that don't have many space stations to refuel at, or for ships that prefer to skirt the law, if you know what I mean. Players that can't dock at a local space station due to reputation might need to get refueled by a ship like the Starfarer. One use for the ship is also buying lots of fuel cheap at one location, and then selling it somewhere else at a profit. It's one of the few ships you can get to carry large liquid fuel, or you can collect your own fuel from gas giants, refining it for a steep profit. You can also use it as a long-range cargo ship, since it has tons of fuel tanks that it can use internally if desired, and it can carry decent cargo internally and externally. The internal cargo bay is also large enough to place up to medium-sized ground vehicles and small snubcraft. With the vehicle storage and jump seats, you could use it as a transport ship or long-range dropship, but be careful using the ship in hot landing zones. The Gemini variant can also be used as a blockade runner with the large shields, guns, and missile launcher. The only problem with these ships is that they are really large. They take up a lot of space, are harder to fly, and require a large crew to manage. Visibility is limited. They are also a maze inside, until CIG improves that, so it can take a while to get around the ship, especially if you need to get to the escape pods in a hurry, or get to turrets. While they can carry lots of cargo and fuel, plus even refine their own hydrogen fuel, don't expect single players running these ships. You will need friends or an org to fly these ships effectively, with all the manned turrets and engineering consoles. Also remember, they require very large hangars due to their size, so only certain stations will be able to handle them, unless you dock externally, which puts it at risk of damage from others. Also, if you aren't careful with your piloting, then you can damage them when landing or refueling other ships. These ships have decent defenses with heavy shields and turrets, but they will still require support as they are big sitting ducks due to their large size, slow speed, and poor maneuverability. Even the better armored Gemini variant will still need help. Any bombers or anti-capital ship fighters will be able to take down the Starfarer very easily if it doesn't have any fighter support. You will probably need a small fleet to work with a Starfarer in dangerous space. The ship isn't cheap either, so you don't want to throw your money away by not having support. If you want to refuel or repair smaller ships on a budget and for a single player, then you want to consider getting an Aegis Vulcan instead. The Starfarer series are great ships for what they do, but consider carefully if you can manage and maintain a ship like this. Alright, so that's it for the MISC Starfarer. If you are interested in jumping in Star Citizen, go ahead and use my referral code to get an extra 5,000 in-game credits to spend on anything you like. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons to get more videos. Let me know if you want me to review a particular ship or item. Check out my Patreon if you'd like to help me out. Okay, catch you all next time.